What's up YouTube? So today I thought I'd do another video. Today I'm talking to you guys about using steroids as a teenager. So let's get straight into it. So I want to start off by saying I don't personally use steroids. I'm completely natural. These gains completely and utterly natural. That isn't to say that I'm against steroids. In fact, I'm actually pro steroids. But I thought I'm going to create a new series for you guys on how to use steroids. Mainly for teenagers. Obviously my channel is made for teenagers, and it's for teenagers to teach you guys how to use steroids. The people who have subconsciously decided, hey, I'm 16, 17, 18 and I want to go and inject a needle up my ass, or take a pill because it's going to make me look shredded, ripped, and I'm going to get all the girls. Because I feel like there isn't much education on teenagers using this stuff, and not even steroids, just steroids and supplements and banned supplements. I want to talk about banned supplements in a bit as well, but yeah, like steroids. And when I talk about steroids, I also include like cambuterol and stuff. Sorry, don't want to get any lens screen thing. Anyway, so my point is, the reason I'm creating this series isn't because I use steroids, but it's because there are a lot of people out there like me who want to do it, or who I wanted to do it, wanted to. Keyword is wanted. I don't want to do it anymore, but because of this sparked interest, I did a lot of research in it. And with everything that I've done, I feel like I do a lot of research into it, and I know a lot before I endure it. When it comes to YouTube, when it came to the gym, and that benefited me. So I took my time, and I took 2 years to research steroids. 2 fucking years, from seeing people I know to learning about them, and everyone reacts differently. That's the first thing. But in those 2 years of learning about them, I realized it was not worth it. It was not worth the effort, it was not worth the time, it was not worth the money, it just wasn't worth it. So if you are hard set on the decision and you want to do it, I cannot sit here and tell you don't do it. I cannot sit here and tell you not to do it. I can, but you've made a decision. It is like telling a teenager who goes out and drinks not to drink when it's illegal, because let's face it, most people who are under 18 do drink. So I feel like might as well educate you about it rather than you go and learn through trial and error. Unlike drinking, which again, trial and error is not the best, but unlike drinking, it is a lot more dangerous and fatal. You're fucking up your hormones. There's 3 things that I want to start off by saying. The first one is that steroids is not a short-term commitment. Just because you're going to get acne, oily skin, back knee, heart palpitations, insomnia while you're taking it, it does not mean that it's then you have it on your cycle and then 3 months after your cycle everything's gone. It is a lifetime commitment. You have fucked your hormones up for life. That's the first thing. The second thing is it is expensive. It is expensive and very hard to control, because you need to take the steroids and then you need to take a PCT, and to keep those gains you need to keep taking cycles. If you stop taking cycles, you will lose everything you worked for. So first of all, you're going to lose all the stuff you worked for. Second of all, you're going to lose all the money you spent on the steroids. And third of all, you are going to look way worse than you did when you were on a cycle. And the third and most important reason, oh, that's it. Everyone reacts differently. First of all, the people who already have good genetics are going to react well to them. And people who don't have good genetics are going to naturally react badly to them. So if you're like me, and you have bad genetics, and you think taking steroids will help you get over the person who has good genetics, you're in cloud 9. Jeff Side has amazing genetics. You can see that from his 15-year-old pictures. I'm pretty sure at 16 he was juicing. At 15, his genetics plus juice, or if you know what juice is, gear, if you know what gear is, steroids, plus the good old Capri Sun juice, shows what good genetics plus steroids can do. We can see his current pictures. It's amazing. There's no denying that he's not natural. However, if you have bad genetics, the likeliness of the steroids not working is higher, and not working as well as having adverse side effects. Another thing is, people think these steroids are miracle drugs. They're not. They're really not. I still have the same amount of respect for a steroid lifter as a regular lifter. The only problem I have is fake naturals. Main reason for that is because it makes just the natty title so much harder to maintain, and I feel like to have that natty title in today's society with social media and everything, if you have that title, hats off, respect to you, because it is a lot harder, to be honest. Yeah, it does suck. Some people have good genetics so they can get away with it, but you know what? That's the game. Lifting is very luck based when it comes to genetics, and I think that's not just lifting, that is life. So wake the fuck up. Right, so let's get into banned supplements and steroids for teenagers before I end the video. So obviously this series will entail how to take steroids. I'll basically do a video for each steroid and how to take it, the side effects, everything you need to know about it, but mainly for teenagers. The reason I want to talk about teenagers is taking testosterone and tren is ridiculously stupid as a teenager. It's ridiculously stupid. I think you have to be more than thick in the head to even consider taking that. If you don't know what tren is, it's basically just testosterone, but it's 5 times as strong. Ridiculous. It's fucking stupid. That is a steroid that if you want to take, you don't even consider until you're like fucking 30 to 40. So if you're taking that as a teenager, I think you're stupid. And in my personal opinion, I still look at steroids and I'm like, but in my personal opinion, I don't think I'm old enough to make the decision. I think 16 to 23 years old, you're not old enough to make the decision. I personally believe that I'm not old enough to make the decision for myself. I also don't believe that anyone else around me has the right or can make that decision for me. And what I mean by that is, I know a lot of people who are like, hey, you look pretty good. You know, if you take clenbuterol stacked with Deca, you look mad, and you know, at the low dosages, you're pretty developed. I think you could get away with it. I don't believe in that. So I wouldn't, if anyone says that to you, don't. Because they're either trying to sell you bullshit, or they're trying to drag you into a life that you're not looking for. And I'm telling you this now. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm smarter than everyone else or anything who is my age, who's in the same boat as me, but I'm just saying it is not a smart decision. The second thing about taking steroids at a young age is they're very narrow-minded. Like, again, you know, you're kind of just thinking about the now and not the future. Taking steroids is a lot of work. Oh shit, there's something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. Going to talk about how steroids bad, but being too young. Oh yeah, lifting times. So when it comes to steroids, another thing that I see a lot of is people who have lifted for one year and they're like, oh, let me get on my first steroid cycle. You need to lift for about 4 years before you can even think about it. I'm telling you, because you don't even get those diminishing returns until 4 years. 4 years, think about it. If you start lifting at 16, in 4 years time you're 20. If you start lifting at 14, in 4 years time you're 18. By the time you have those 4 years of lifting experience and proper lifting experience, that's when you can consider it. And when I say consider it, I mean like look up into it. At your age you shouldn't be looking into it, but if you are, I'm here to teach you. But at your age you should be, you know, you should be 4 years into lifting before you can consider it. And if you are 4 years in considering it, at that point you're an adult. You should be able to make a decision. I still think, you know, 18 to 23, you're a bit clouded in that sense. Like, to be honest, you're gonna go take steroids to look good, to either look good to get like bare girls, bare pussy, or for, you know, your fitness branding, personal branding. Oh, I look good so that I can model or to make money. No, you're literally screwing your life over at that point to look good. To what? And then, you know, people are like, oh, look at Arnold. And yeah, look at him now. Like, he's only 60 and he's aging like that. And, you know, it is your decision in the end of the day again. But my point being that you can still be very narrow-minded, very young. And 18 to 20, 23, you're still very young. But at least you have 4 years of experience. At least you have that lifting experience. At least you have a built body and a base. You start steroids when you haven't even started lifting, I'm sorry, you're just retarded. You need to have a good base. You need to at least have finished all the diminishing returns, try to hit near to your genetic max, and have really already pushed your body to the limits before you can even really think about it. You shouldn't be thinking about it and using it if you're not even close to that. So that's another thing. I've only been lifting for 2 to 3 years, so me saying I should get on a cycle is stupid. And my final point being the banned supplements. So now let's talk about banned supplements. Banned supplements such as DMAA, ephedrine, and SARMs. In my personal opinion, and this is where I kind of sway from the general public of people who think, I think they're fine. Yes, they're banned. Yes, they have side effects and whatnot. But in my personal opinion, I think taking that shit is not that deep compared to steroids. Steroids is a different level. It's hormones, you know, it's messing up. That is dangerous. I would not really personally mess with that, and I would just kind of leave it. But with ephedrine, okay, I wouldn't touch ephedrine. Clenbuterol I wouldn't touch. DMAA, I would probably take a pre-workout or a fat burner with DMAA. SARMs, I've done a lot of research into. I'm going to do another series on SARMs, and I'll tell you about SARMs in a future video, but my personal opinion is that that kind of stuff is not that bad. I'm very supplement based mind, you know. I personally believe in taking high stacks of supplements, taking a lot of supplements to get somewhere, to try to make adverse effects of steroids, but I don't believe in actually taking steroids. Well, I do believe in taking it. I don't have a problem with that. It's just you have to be, you know, smart enough to make that decision, and you should be old enough to make the decision, and you shouldn't be clouded. But yeah, that's my personal opinion. I know obviously everyone's opinion differs. That's just my opinion from a 16-year-old lifter. If you are interested in learning how to take steroids or have any questions, leave them in the description. The whole point is to like educate people. So just leave them in the description, in the comments, sorry, and we can talk about it, whether or not you want to do them, what you want to do, how you want to do it, and how old you are, or just anything about yourself, because that way it gives you a better idea and I can talk to you. And I'm not trying to try to talk anyone out of it. Like, say someone is like, yeah, I'm 17, I'm definitely going to do tren, what should I do? I'll probably like, yo, do an 8-week cycle of tren at 175 milligrams, something like that. So, you know, take this PCT, take this, take Gynex, take DAA, Prolact blocks so you don't get gyno, that kind of stuff. I know a lot of stuff. I can help you guys, and that way I can ensure that you guys don't, you know, fucking kill yourself like Ziz. RIP Ziz, but the man killed himself because of steroids and cocaine. Don't do the same thing. He is a martyr, and he's like the Jesus of aesthetic lifting, and he died for our sins. He died to tell us not to do the same thing as him. Don't go at 18, do steroids when you start lifting for 4 years, and then start partying, get girls, and die, because he died too young. He really did. And honestly, human life is more valuable than that. If you think partying and, you know, the aesthetics and partying and the girls is worth your life, you have another thing coming to you. You know, life is worth a lot more. I'm not going to get into that deep shit right now, but my point is, it's not worth that sacrifice. You really don't realize, and you don't realize that until you're more mentally old and mature. And I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying that I can tell that I'm not, rather than I am. So I'm not ready to make the decision. But when I am mature enough, I would probably say no, because that's the mature thing to do. But when I'm mature enough, we'll see what happens. And if I do ever take steroids or do anything, I would probably document it. I would make a series out of it, to be honest, and I would definitely go open about it. I take it loud and proud, like I do everything. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.